Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the Government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
We now know that over the last several weeks, Justin Trudeau tried very hard to poison other nations, including US, UK, Australia, against India. Now, we also know that he failed miserably. Trudeau's baseless public claims against India, without a shred of evidence, mind you, that New Delhi is potentially behind the killing of dreaded Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, has found no takers, not even amidst his closest friends in the Five Eye network that comprise US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, apart from Canada. We will talk more about the world's response in a bit, but let's look at the response within Canada. Their main opposition leader, commentators, even policymakers have asked Trudeau to furnish the evidence. Some have even ridiculed him. Inasmuch, Trudeau has managed to drive a fresh wedge in the long-standing India-Canada ties, and for what? Just because he felt humiliated in India during G20? Or maybe for some petty political gains at home? Well, he may well have managed to keep his Khalistani vote bank at home alive with these ridiculous claims, but there's one thing that the Canadian Prime Minister has failed miserably at. That is rallying global support against India. Trudeau has basically suggested that the Indian deep state killed a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. Now, such a huge allegation, massive allegation, usually sparks massive uproar among Western democracies. Take, for instance, the uproar in 2018 when Russian double agent Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia were poisoned by a nerve agent in England. Within days, mind you, days, Britain, US, Canada threw out more than 100 Russian diplomats between them as punishment. Now compare that with the world's very muted response so far on Justin Trudeau's allegations. Trudeau had been discussing this issue with his key allies like the Five Eyes Intelligence Sharing Alliance, even with them, he wanted them to issue a joint statement during the G20 summit in New Delhi, humiliate India globally, but none of the nations were on board with Trudeau's anti-India plans. Trudeau then waited till he got home to fire his next salvo. But the attack missed the mark. The allegations were grave, but the evidence was nil. Britain has refused to publicly criticize India and said that bilateral trade talks will continue as planned. A statement from Foreign Secretary James Cleverly about the issue did not even mention India by name. The US said that it was deeply concerned, but refused to condemn India, merely saying that Washington wanted the matter to be handled in a transparent manner. Australia also expressed concerns at Canada's allegations, and why not? They are allies. They added that they have closely engaged with partners on these latest developments. And when a reporter asked the Australian Prime Minister about his previous Modi a boss statement, here's what he said.
Seriously? You should chill out a bit.
Canada's bizarre charges have not had much of an impact even on its allies. So what is the reason behind the muted response of Canada's allies in this case? Well, the answer is simple. The world needs India. India, which is fast emerging as the voice of the global south, has also become a key piece in the world's efforts to keep China in check. The US, Australia, and Japan are partners with India in the Quad. So basically, the world knows that India matters. And Canada seems to be running out of options in its bid to corner India. As grave as Justin Trudeau's charges may be, Without evidence, he will certainly be diplomatically outmaneuvered by a rising India.